We're at checkpoint 300. It's at the entrance to Bethlehem. It's one of the two major checkpoints. A lot of the Palestinian workers who've crossed through, who have work permits to work in Israel, are making their way back. It's the end of the day. It's around 5 o'clock. So they're all eager to get home. And we're going to go through and have a little reflection on the other side.
Taxi to Bethlehem.
We're now on the other side of the wall. We're in the West Bank, and you're right up beside the separation wall. Soldiers are in there doing their duty. Watchtower. You can see it goes around, but it kind of snakes around that way as well.
The first time I saw the wall, it was a bit from far, so I thought that it was a pretty small wall, but finally when I'm there, now it's quite height. I think it's approx 8 meters.
The one thing that really stood out to me was just the difference between each side. Like, you're walking through and it's actually a bit scary. You know, you see there's so many people hoarding through, and then you get to the other side and the difference is literally incredible. It's like East Jerusalem and West Jerusalem. It's just, except so much more obvious.
We are really happy to welcome you in Palestine and to have you in Hebron, and I hope that you take this opportunity in Palestine to really learn as much as you can about the situation in Palestine. What is it like to be under occupation? What is it like to be sieged in a city with one entrance only? What is it like to have no freedoms? What is it to be in a conservative society as well?
Let's get everybody else out. We are here to listen to the young people, so we must listen to the young people on both sides. We met 2 Israeli school groups, okay, the same age as you, because we want to hear what are they thinking.
You wanted everyone to come and hear. Okay.
It's okay for them to visit, but not like occupy us.
No.
It's okay.
Yeah.
For the future, I hope that we have all our human rights, like freedom, traveling, like anything.
Jerusalem, it's in Palestine, and we can't go to.
We can. Yeah.
So is there anything that you would like us to bring back to Ireland? Something that you would like us to say to young people in Ireland, to our students, like to students in our class?
Everyone think Muslims they are like killing people, but we are not like this. We love peace and we love to live without wars, and we don't want anyone to hate us, and we don't want to hate anybody. We want to live in peace and love.
Peace can't happen for settlements are expanding every day, and prisoners numbers are increasing, and every day they destroy new houses, and I really think it's a hopeless case.
What's for you the most important human rights?
Most important is freedom.
Actually, if we have the right, the freedom right, we can have all the rights. Because Israel took all the rights because they took our land, so we can't do anything here.
There's actually a soldier on the roof over there. And if you will see, there's a settlement behind us. They throw rocks and rubbish down, so that's why the shopkeepers have put these grills to protect themselves from the settlers above.
We done this metal net here, this fence, to protect ourselves and the protecting visitor from all kind of garbage, trash. Sometimes that metal net won't do any good, because while you're standing they throw or they pour on you dirty water, bleach, urine, rotten eggs, and all that harassment. It happens in front of the soldiers' eyes. Facing you a tower here on my right hand side, up there on that building, and facing you on the other side another military army tower. 2 towers to protect them day and night, 24 hours. When they do throw things, we shout, we scream, at least stop them. They don't do anything, they ignore us, and they say go inside your shop. And they are thinking by throwing some kind of garbage on top of us, they might kick us outside this part. We are not leaving it, we are determined to stay. We are not going to give up as long as we live. This is our homeland.
See the way the road is blocked off here? So Palestinians are not allowed to go on this road behind. It's reserved for settlers and soldiers only. There used to be a very busy fruit and vegetable and bird, selling poultry market here. Now all you can hear is the sound of birds. If you look down here, I remember buying my vegetables in this area. Okay, you could buy everything you needed, fish and chicken and everything. Down here, the road has been closed off and life has just come to an end. People sometimes ask, oh, why don't they just move away? Why don't they live somewhere else? But you need money to move somewhere else. Why should we leave our land? Because that's what settlers want. They want you to. They want life to be so difficult for you that you feel obliged to move away.
في كمان يعني المستوطنين خبطوا لي طفل عمره 6 سنين.
He said that the settlers attack a 6 years child.
خبطوه مادة قبل سنتين في عينيه فقد البصر منه.
They attack him with a substance. They shot it for his eyes and he can't see right now. He lost his sight.
كمان عندي الشبابيك عندي في البيت كلها مسكرة، الحياة ممنوع تنفتح من مرة.
And
جيش الإسرائيلي مسكر.
he lives here and the opposite side he has windows. He closed all his windows because the soldiers and the settlers attacked him. So he can't open any window at that side.
You have a view of the city from here, okay? Over there you can see a watchtower on the hill, okay? And behind you, you have another watchtower up on the other hill. So you're being watched the whole time, but that's not everything, because you will see soldiers on security lookout posts on the tops of buildings. Apart from that, there's the Ibrahimi Mosque. One part of it is for Muslims and the other part of it is for Jews. So there are 2 parts. There's a synagogue in there as well. So that's the ceremonial tomb for Abraham, the patriarch of the 3 religions: Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. And you can hear on the Jewish side, you can hear the voices on the synagogue side. That's the side that we had just visited. There are still traces of the bullet marks from the massacre on the walls. Most of the bullet holes have been filled up. Okay, I just want to show you a couple of them. This is bullet number 20. Can you get that? S20? it's really important that we remember all the victims in this particular conflict and all conflicts everywhere. We did a minute silence at the place where Benja Zuckerman was killed. We're standing here in front of the Ibrahimi Mosque, which is the site where in 1994 Dr. Baruch Goldstein, an Israeli settler from Hebron, went into the mosque and gunned down 29 people. A number of other people were killed when they were running out and the soldiers opened fire and the general pandemonium. I think it's important that we also take into account the students in the schools on the Palestinian side who lost their lives, such as Sabrine Abu Snene, who was 9 years old, who was killed in 2001, and Omran Abu Hamdia, who was 16 and was killed in 2004. So we're going to have a minute's silence to remember the victims, and in the spirit of this project, it's appropriate that we mention their names. We can't mention them all, but we're keeping them all in mind.
حرب غزة عام 2008 وحرب غزة كمان اللي دامت 8 أيام عام 2012، إنه إحنا أكيد بنزعل على كل شهيد بيروح منا، بس كمان هذا ولا إشي جنب الحرية. إحنا بس بدنا نطرد الاحتلال من وطننا، ما بدنا مفاوضات وما بدنا سلام زي اللي هم بيمثلوا إنهم بدهم السلام وبدهم هذا الكلام. إحنا بس بدنا نطرد الاحتلال ونعيش بوطننا آمنين وبس، ما بدنا.
Nobody know about Palestine and Palestinian rights, and we need somebody to listen our Palestinian message and to know our Palestinian rights.
We want to send a message because we don't have anybody to listen my message us.
Send our opinion.
Okay. So, in other words, it's important for you to speak. You should have the right to say what you want to say.
We want to end the struggle between the Israel and Palestinian people.
So generally only settlers and soldiers are allowed to use this street, and Palestinians would have to walk on this side of the road. Can you just explain that to us? The Palestinians are supposed to walk on which side of the road? So Palestinians, are they allowed to walk on this street?
Yeah, they're allowed to walk on the street.
Okay, so we can walk with our Palestinian group down there?
Yeah,
okay.
no problem.
Straight?
Okay.
We can walk straight?
We want straight.
Continue?
Until?
Past Beit Romano, Beit Hadassah, we can walk down there?
Yeah, no problem.
Doing my best here.
As you can see, all of the houses, shops here are being closed, so Palestinians aren't allowed to live here anymore. Generally, Palestinians are not allowed to go further than this point here, but we are doing that, and we'll see how far we can get. The soldiers down at the other checkpoint there at Gutnik Center, they said we
Just
can
a second,
walk.
we
Yeah,
will
okay.
check it out.
No problem. And they're, see now they're beginning to panic a little bit. It's all right? No problem at all. Okay, so it's safe to walk straight ahead. Okay, so everybody have to show your passport and the Hawiya also. I don't think we should stand in the middle of the road. I think we should stand over at the side. Okay? Can we just side it? Okay, guys, let's just turn around. Okay, and walk this way. Guys, I'm here. Can you listen to me? Can you just walk that way, please? Walk that way. Walk that way. Okay. Thank you. Now we have.
The soldier is like wondering if the Palestinians going with us are allowed or not to walk on this road. So he's asking us our passport to check if we are really Irish or from Europe.
I think we just wanted a decision from these guys. We got a go-ahead from the guys at the Gutnik Center. We could walk all the way down, okay, with our group.
We don't have any connection to this guy.
Okay, all right. So, can we walk down that way?
Some of you, yeah?
No, we're all together. We're all in it.
I'd have to say thank you for letting us go down there, because without the whole group I wouldn't have been able to even try going down my own city. It's too risky.
First of all, I get surprised that they allow to us, but I think in my inside of me why they are allowed to us, and then I wake up from my dream.
The soldiers, I can just see them over there, like behind the wall. I mean, do you talk to them sometimes, or the settlers themselves?
I'll tell you what we're talking about. They just, when they see me walking in the land, for example, go home, get inside. I say, I'm at my home, this is my land. He say, your home is inside, between the walls, go in. About the garbage, you just remember me about for a good point. If you see my line just right there, it's there. There's a lot of garbage just from the settlers. They just throw it from their house to my house. When we came back from Ireland, they make for me a lot of problems. I spent like 2 or 3 months every day at the checkpoints detained by them. For 3-4 months, I don't remember exactly. I detained, which means the soldiers, he have the right to stop me for 6 hours. And I can't ask him why you are stopping me. He can't take my ID, I say, sit there. That's it. That means 6 hours I should not move, I should not talk to anyone, I should not talk to the soldier. I'm detained in their law, because we are here, the Palestinian in this area, in the Israeli areas, we live under the martial law. About the settlers, they live under the civilian law.
One thing that's important is human rights. What are human rights? Are they just ink on paper?
No. Human rights is about living like everybody. It's about freedom. It's about to get the full rights to live. It's not about writing on papers what you want, what you need, what is aims for life. It's about how you want to live, how freedom is. When you look at the other countries, how they live, you feel so ashamed that you don't get a life like them. You feel like you are poor. You want a life like them. You want a freedom. You want to live. That's it.
How do you feel about the Israeli young people, like your age, students?
We did not deal with them in their life to see how do they think about us. So if we wanna know what they think about us, we should like you guys. We should talk with them, see what they think about the Palestinian issue, know more about their lives. It's not easy to know what they think when we don't deal with them.
We have a past of hatred and massacres and all that war between us, and then you say that we want peace between us. I mean, it's not human. It's not human to forget all the people that were lost in those wars, those conflicts in history. So I don't think it's just gonna happen. But as long as we live, there's not gonna be any peace between us.
Israeli settlements. What do you think about them?
They're wrong. We're just like sitting ducks. We can't do anything.
We don't have our freedom.
Are you scared in your daily life?
Sometimes, kids, we can, but we have to be strong.
For me, every Friday in the morning at 3 p.m. I go to pray at the Ibrahim Mosque. The soldier is trying to scare me, reloading the gun, and I'm not scared of him. I think he's scared of me because it's our land, and he knows that this is wrong.
And they're trying to make peace with us, but no peace. They attack our land, and how can we make peace with them? They always attack our houses and take us to jail, and they always say we want to make a peace. Can't.
So you just wanted to live with us, we didn't have a problem. They say, or they're trying to cover up the Palestinians' doings on their lands, protecting their lands, that this is something about Islam and terrorism. But we don't have any hates against Jews or any religion.
Settlements is not the only problems. We have more than the settlements more than this problem. But these settlements are the most important problems that we have in our land. What do you feel when person come from another country and live and force you to leave your land? That's not right. It's your life. It's your freedom to get.
Do Israelis and Palestinians depend on each other? Do they need each other to basically survive, to live? No.
We need just freedom. We don't need them. We can't live without them.
The Israeli country have ideas. Their ideas are very, very different than our ideas. How can two different countries live in one home, live in one country? That's not true. The Palestinian land is only for one country. It's only one for one people. It's for the Palestinian. You can't live you can't live two sides with two different ideas in one home.
What is the benefit of meeting our students? Anybody in the group?
We could have the opportunity to share our story to the whole world.
It's a bit relieving to exchange information. I know your conflict, you know our conflict, and it's communication, and so I can know, because I don't think anybody here isn't interested in politics majorly. So it's nice to be a little communication between us about this idea, about this subject.
We want to share our story, let people know how we feel, and hopefully they would want to help us, and we want to be free, and everybody wants to be free.
We need a way to find peace. We have to fix this situation.
the Palestinian issue is not about just writing on papers what we want, it's not about just talking. It's about we want actions. We want moves to do. We don't want to just talking. We want to see action, see what the other peoples feel about the Palestinian issue.
So we're at the entrance to Aida refugee camp, one of the 3 refugee camps in Bethlehem.
yeah.
And we will visit the wall, which is right beside us here. It goes right around.
That's how you can see.
There, this side and that side, so it's like an enclave.
With the separation wall, you can see like how it goes. It has to be straight, but they took another land.
This house was a part of this camp before they built this wall. When they built this wall, that guy, the guy who lived there, decided that he don't want to leave his house or to leave his hand.
So he stayed in his house, and the soldiers threw snakes and dogs on this house.
This represents Palestine, you can see from the map. And these are all the villages that they had to flee from in 1948 and in some cases in 1967.
We've just come out of one of the refugee camps and we're just standing right along the wall. We're like a couple of meters away from it. And basically just a few minutes ago, Darren walked past, just up around the corner around the wall, and he started going like this, and I was starting to tear up and I was starting to gag, and I didn't know what was happening. I wasn't sure if it was like the emotions of where we were or anything, and then we just ran inside and it was like tear gas, and Darren was saying that they threw it just where we were in the Palestinian refugee camp, so it's just really scary. And then especially since when we were in the refugee camp, all of a sudden all of the Palestinians started running everywhere, and it was because the Israelis threw a stun grenade at them and they just started going crazy and running around, so it's been very scary. What really stuck with me over the week was just listening to the people and what they were saying, and it kind of affected me in a way that I didn't really think it would, and it actually makes me kind of upset and emotional when I think about it, like the connections that you make with people and listening to what they say and how passionate they are, and it makes, on the one hand it instills a bit of hope in me that there is an answer to the conflict and there is a solution, and that's something that coming into it I didn't think that they would have to say, and their answers really they gave me a bit of faith or something. I don't really know how to explain it, but then there's the other side of it that's really sad, and I don't want to leave, it's sad, and and there's just a lot really that happened in the week, and it's kind of overwhelming and so much is going on, but basically I really enjoyed it, and I can't even explain it. It's just something that I'm so glad that I had the chance to experience it for myself and to see everything through the eyes of the people here. Walking down the street with the Palestinians and seeing how they're treated, that was a huge shock to me. And at first, the soldiers seemed polite and whatever, but then when we got further down the street and asking for the ID, it was just so abrupt, and then all these soldiers with guns start coming around and surrounding these essentially children, 18-year-olds, and that's not something that should happen every day. And they think it's normal. They think, oh well, we weren't expecting to get any further in their own city. And that's really overwhelming, and to see that, it's just shocking.
It has been like such impressive trip, and as others say, we can't just experience the conflict through PowerPoint in class. You have to be here to taste every aspect of the life. We've been to Jerusalem, Hebron and Bethlehem, and we can see every aspect of local life, local culture. In fact, we don't see Orthodox Jew every day in our city, and we learn from these people.
I think it was one of a kind experience. I learned a lot. I was glad of meeting the Palestinian and Israeli teenagers, and found out more about their life and their culture. And now I'm more secure about the conflict and the reasons about it.
I think it was an amazing experience. I learned a lot about the conflict, and I think it was really important to hear the Israeli and Palestinian students.
This trip to Israel and Palestine was amazing. It learned me a lot, and it was incredible. So there was kind of two parts. The part where I learned more informations, and the part of feelings, it was more emotional. In Jerusalem, it was more knowledge and informations, but it was also very emotional because there was a lot of cultures and so different type of life, and it was very, very good. And then when we went to Palestine, in Hebron, in Bethlehem, it was very more emotional. It was more with feelings, because when we met, for example, the Palestinian girls in two schools, they felt very angry, and they told us that they wanted their freedom to be free, because they didn't have like the human rights that they are supposed to have.
It was one hell of an experience to go into such a different culture, to hear so many different languages being spoken, different sounds, different smells, and then to also experience what it's like to be in a conflict as well. That was very, very interesting. I think it's something that I'll carry with me for the rest of my life, and I think it's something that will be difficult for the students back home to understand, because it's something that you really have to experience. I think from talking to the students, I see many different things. There are sad sides, that they both think that they're being taught to hate each other. They both think that, a lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them, they don't really see a solution without a big war. But there are things that do give me hope. Some of them say, we don't hate them, we can live with them. Some of them are really open, and that makes me happy. It makes me happy to see that there are people here, young people, who see a way forward. And I think that makes my trip here very worthwhile.